Oh, yes, sir. Welcome back to Cut Day Sports. Hey, man, I just got through listening to the Jackson State press conference, and Coach T.C. Taylor, while he's definitely using coach speak, he's saying a whole lot if you pay attention. For instance, I didn't know offensive coordinator Maurice Harris was doubling as the wide receiver coach in lieu of R.J. Fleming leaving. But no worries, Coach T.C. Taylor said he may have another wide receiver coach within the next week. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. If you really paid attention, a whole lot was said during this press conference. We're talking about underrated players that may have a chance to play this spring, a guy that's supposed to be in high school. Matter of fact, let's just start right there. When asked who's one of the underrated guys who people would be surprised is getting playing time and may receive playing time this fall, none other than Bruce Batman Mitchell was named. If you don't know who Bruce Mitchell is, let me go ahead and run it down to you. Coming out of high school, he had 14 offers. From FBS, he had offers from Buffalo, Indiana, Liberty, SMU, and Tulsa, just to name a couple. And from FCS, Northern Arizona, Central Arkansas, and Stephen F. Austin. He's 6 foot, 185 pounds. He's listed by Rivals as a cornerback and as a safety by 24/7 Sports. From July 2022 to November 2022, he was committed to Stephen F. Austin, but as you see, he flipped to Jackson State. Now, this part is interesting. He should technically still be in high school, but was a mid-year enrollee at Jackson State. And so far, that decision has paid off for him because he is making plays and the coach knows his name. So to all the guys who's still in high school, he already got the one up on you. And he already has a nickname, Batman. Now, one of the interesting topics that multiple coaches spoke on during the press conference was the wide receiver position. Coach Taylor said the guys we expected to make plays are making plays. And then he named 3 guys, Seven McGee, Rico Powers, and Trevante Rucker. Now, if Rucker's name sound familiar, it should. He had a crazy freshman season. 26 catches, 515 yards, and 2 touchdowns. In 2022, he took a step back in production. He only had 49 yards and 1 touchdown on 5 catches, but according to the coaches, he looks to be back on track. Coach Harris seemed a little disappointed, and I'm just going to paraphrase it. He basically was like, what are they doing when they're not with us? All of our film, playbook, everything is downloaded so you can study in your free time. So if you coming in, you don't know this and you don't know that, how serious are you really taking your craft? And he mentioned that if a game had to be played right now, it's about 5 guys that are ready to go. So they need more guys to step up and get ready to play. So that's one thing to keep an eye on during the spring game on April 15th. Now, what was most interesting about this is the fact that Seven McGee was mentioned with the wide receivers. And I know the offense is going to have variations. You can expect to see Seven McGee in the backfield, in the slot, jet sweeps, everywhere. But the fact that he was mentioned with the wide receivers, that let me know he's going to be a pretty good weapon out there. Hey, y'all, hold up. Got to interrupt the video real quick. We at Cut Day, we meaning me. I'm trying to upgrade to a Sony G Master FE 70 to 200 millimeter f2.8 full frame lens. The lenses I have are outdated. You know, I don't come to y'all for nothing. But if y'all can help me get this lens so I can elevate, this season I'm trying to hit up as many HBCU and high school football games as possible. And this is the lens I need to get that done. It costs around $2,000 trying to get this lens so I can take my game to the next level as well as provide better content for you guys. So if you guys can donate to the Cut Day Sports Cash App, I greatly appreciate it. Y'all been rocking with me for 3 years now. We're going to keep on going. As Aubrey say, this don't stop. Thank y'all in advance. Back to the video. But I know what y'all all came to hear. And yes, they asked the question, what about Sy'Veon Wilkerson? And Coach Taylor had this to say about Sy'Veon. Sy'Veon is trying to figure some things out right now. He's a part of this football team until he tells us he's not. But we got to focus on the guys who here every day. Then he will go on to mention 2 players, J.D. Martin and Des Moultrie. And he said both of those guys are having outstanding springs. And he actually mentioned J.D. one more time. And what he had to say was very eye-opening. He said J.D. Martin is looking elite, explosive, and it's hard to get a hand on him. And when it comes to quarterbacks, you know Coach T.C. Taylor and that coach speak, he holding everything close to the vest. He wasn't letting nothing out. Now, we all speculating that Jason Brown got it sold up. He's the guy that's QB1. But according to Coach T.C. Taylor, it's a 3-man race. Zai McDonald, Phillip Short, and Jason Brown each have the opportunity to win the job. And what do they want to see from the starting quarterback? Number one, they want to see a command of the offense and command of the players. Can you distribute? Can you have good decision making? Basically, if a guy walking too slow, can you get him to speed up? Like, yo, come on, come on. Can you be a leader of men? When asked who was going to start, Coach TC was like, we may flip a coin. He said each guy will have a chance to get first team reps, and whoever executes at the highest level, that's going to be the guy, basically. If you've been paying attention to the Jackson State YouTubers, then you already know off top the O-line is thin. They need to get some more guys healthy and get some more guys on campus. So that's another thing to pay attention to. But with the O-line being thin right now, a lot of guys are getting more reps. And you already know O-line is all chemistry. So while it's bad not to have depth and that can come back to bite you, it's actually a plus. Guys are getting more reps, getting game ready. The focus on the O-line is to bring more physicality to the game. Ain't no more of that cute finesse stuff. They trying to get nasty, MEAC style. Coming into this press conference, I was expecting to hear how the defense is absolutely dogging the offense. Because let's be real, it's not easy to replace Deion Sanders. It's not easy to replace a SWAC Offensive Player of the Year. But according to Coach, they're going tick for tack. Sometimes the offense wins, sometimes the defense wins. So it's really like back and forth. So that's a plus. Here's a little nugget from the secondary. Both Jalen Hughes and K5 was mentioned as standouts, but Keedron Callaghan is getting rave reviews for being the ball hawk of the bunch. Coach Bradley mentioned how quickly he's picking up the defensive schemes and going out there and performing at a high level. But it doesn't stop right there. Both coaches also mentioned Alan Walker and Javarian Jenkins. Coach Taylor went as far as saying they're a blessing, while Coach Bradley said they're both very instinctive and vocal leaders of the defense. When asked if he was going to bring any concepts from Alcorn, Coach Bradley said he's going to take some concepts from the Alcorn defense, but also build the defense around the players' best attributes. And that's one thing that really good coaches do. They don't force their system on players and force a player into a system. It's like taking a square and trying to force it into a circle. You assess your players, see what they're great at, and then build your system around them. So hats off to Coach Bradley for being good at his job. A few other guys that were mentioned was Brandon Johnson, Tim Stewart, and Antonio Doyle. Specifically Doyle. It's been said that he's doing a great job retaining the information and actually applying it on the field. So you can expect a big year out of Doyle. And lastly, when asked if the guys were where they wanted to be or if there was a lot more work to do, Coach Harris had this to say. And I'm going to just paraphrase this. Guys are doing very well and becoming more instinctual, but we cut back on installs so the guys weren't drinking water from a fire hose. That means that things aren't coming at them too fast. You know how hard it would be to drink water out of a fire hose, bro? You're going to blow your face off. Oh, one thing that was revealed, like I said, bro, if y'all haven't been listening to the Jackson State YouTubers, then all of this is probably going to be new to you. Behind quarterback, tight end is the hardest position to learn in this offense. Because you're going to be a fullback, a traditional tight end, and you're asked to be a wide receiver. But look, man, make sure y'all check out the full press conference. Anyway, until next time, cut day out.